Have you ever wanted to figure out a way to work online and earn from the comfort of your own home, but you had social media anxiety? Because if that's you, then you definitely want to pay attention to this video because I have been struggling with social media anxiety and I've discovered 15 roadblocks over the past 10 years. Every time I would think I had these roadblocks solved, I would run across another one. But the good news is I finally found something that would work for me. And if you stick around till the end of this video, I'm not only going to share what that method is, but I'm going to give you a gift where you are going to learn step by step exactly how to overcome every single one of these roadblocks. So let's get started because I want to go over these roadblocks with you because I want you to ask yourself if any of these roadblocks apply to you. And if so, we're going to talk about how to solve them one by one. So roadblock number one is I was so confused because I was interested in everything. I mean, everything. I always said that if I could be a professional student and get paid for it, that is what I would love to do because I love to learn. But the problem when it came to an online business was I couldn't figure out how to narrow that down to one thing. It was really hard for me. So I kept starting over with all of these different ideas that I had. And trust me, if you start over enough times, you're going to realize that you're going to waste many years of your life like I did. And here's what I finally figured out about that. The truth is, you don't need to give up all of your interests online. What you do need to do, though, is pick one talent or skill or problem that you can solve, and then you can give away free lead magnets to all of the different groups of people who share the same interest and values as you, who could use your help, right? So that way you don't have to give up all of your other interests. You just have to figure out how you can serve all of those different groups of people. Roadblock number two, every time I would learn something new, I would have doubts. And the reason for that was because I kept learning things in the wrong order. And so I would learn something and then somebody would tell me, oh, well, you need to know how to do this. And then I would think, well, I really needed to know how to do that before I did this other thing. And I was just staying confused because I kept jumping around trying to figure out what I needed to learn. And there were a lot of different skills that I could learn. But the truth is, just because you learned something new, it doesn't mean that you were wrong before. It just means that maybe you just need to see the big picture and figure out how to put it all together in the right order. Roadblock number three, I wanted everything to be perfect before I could go all in. So if you're a perfectionist, then this one is for you. And I wanted everything to be perfect because I didn't want to put myself out there until it was something that I felt like I could be really, really proud of, right? Because I knew that if it was something I could be really, really proud of, then I could go all in. But the truth is, everything doesn't need to be perfect first before you go all in. Because all good marketers know that the best way to do it is to test small and then go all in on what is working for you. And so you can try different ideas, but once you figure out what's working, that's when you start to just go back and improve it over time. But you don't need to have everything figured out before you get started. Roadblock number four, and this was the biggest roadblock of them all, because as I mentioned in the beginning, I had social media anxiety. I hated being the center of attention, and I could not stand to be on camera. And the truth is, you don't need to get on camera at all to succeed online. There are a lot of different ways that you can succeed without having to get on camera. You can do freelance work for other busy entrepreneurs. You can promote other companies and let them do the selling for you. And you can even promote on social media without ever having to get on camera. There are a lot of different video techniques that you can use that are highly effective, and they put the focus on the message instead of on you, and you don't have to be on camera. Roadblock number 5, I was really scared of doing something wrong. And this was because I made some mistakes, right? I got hacked. I lost my Facebook account. I lost my Instagram account. I lost a couple of YouTube accounts. I mean, I was doing things wrong. And so because of that, I developed a fear of doing things wrong. I even had a couple of shady companies out there that tried to back charge me for something from 2 or 3 years ago, and one of them threatened to sue me. So I had all these things happen, and I developed this fear of doing something wrong. But guess what? I got over that fear. And do you know why? Because what you really need to know is compliance. If you can narrow it down to 1 or 2 social media platforms in your niche, and you can understand compliance on sales funnels, with advertising, with social media platforms that you're using, and any affiliate programs that you might be promoting, then you don't have to worry about doing something wrong. You just have to learn compliance. But you don't have to understand compliance for every single thing out there. You only need to learn compliance for one thing at a time. Roadblock number 6, my conscience was stopping me from making sales. Now, I don't know about you, but I have discovered a lot of programs out there and products and services that would pay a really good commission, but my conscience didn't feel right about it for one reason or the other. Like either I felt like it might be harmful to people, or I didn't like the way they were treating people, or something like that. And so if that's you, then that's actually a good thing, because it means that you really care about the person on the other end. So having a conscience in business is a very good thing. So the truth is, this is going to help you to establish a reputable online business. And only reputable online businesses can make it for the long term. And only reputable online businesses can retain what is called the lifetime value of a customer. Because did you know that it is a lot cheaper to retain the customers that you already have than it is to go after new customers? Because you've already advertised to the customers you already have. You've already paid for that advertising. But to get a new customer, you have to pay to advertise to get new customers. And so if you already have customers and you're treating them right, then what's going to happen is they're going to buy from you again and again and again. And so that's a whole lot better than constantly spending money to advertise to try to get new people, because the people that you have keep leaving. It's a much better way to do business. And so if you have a conscience, then the chances are that your business is going to last longer than a lot of the competition out there. Because remember, the ultimate goal here is to truly help people. entrepreneurs solve people's problems. That's what they're supposed to do. So if somebody buys something from you and you are solving a painful problem for them, then they will be grateful to you for helping you to solve that problem. So the key here is, are you really helping them solve problems? Because that's what the best entrepreneurs are doing. Roadblock number 7, I didn't want to be that pushy entrepreneur, because sometimes I would hear where they would tell me, to get inside of Facebook groups and make posts and try to get people to answer those posts and to start sending them messages and things like that. And I just could not bring myself to do that. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. If you post something and it sparks engagement and people start responding and asking for your help, then that's different. But you don't want to just start messaging people who are not asking for your help. And so whenever I would run across those types of tactics, I was like, nope, I can't do that. And the truth is, you don't have to be pushy to succeed online. And in fact, you're better off if you are not pushy online. You just need to find a real solution that solves a real problem and become passionate about helping people to solve those problems and finding people who need help solving that problem. And then also, stories are a great way to sell. They're very, very effective, and they work a lot better than pushy, aggressive, or manipulative tactics. And remember, these days, you can create videos and you can promote software where someone else is doing the promotion for you, and you don't even have to do it yourself. And in fact, you can even set up phone agents now that can do the selling for you. Roadblock number 8, I was afraid of being attacked or criticized online. Now, this has been a big one for me my entire life. I've always been afraid of criticism. I've always backed away and been that person who just tries to keep the peace and doesn't want to make waves and doesn't speak up to people. And I was terrified of posting something online and getting attacked or criticized online. But now I realize that you don't need to be afraid of that. And do you know why? Because all you need to do is stand up for what you truly believe in and recognize that polarity is actually a good thing in marketing. Because if somebody gets on there and doesn't agree with you, then it's going to spark engagement. And if it sparks engagement, then it's going to boost your post in the algorithms. And if that happens, then more people are going to see it. And guess what? More of the right people are going to see it also. The people who agree with you and who are on your side about whatever it is, right? So criticism, believe it or not, is a good thing on social media. But also, sometimes when people are criticizing you, they have an ulterior motive. I can remember years ago, I was following some finance forums and I found out about something called bashers, because these bashers would come into these forums and they would just attack people and criticize people, and they were just hateful. They were just hateful. And I thought, what in the world is going on? Why are these people acting like this? Well, somebody did an article and explained that they were being paid to do that because they were being paid by the competition to destroy the reputation of another company. And so that can happen as well. If that happens, they have ulterior motives. And so the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not personal. Roadblock number 9, I was afraid of doing something to displease God. Now, I'm a Christian and I have a lot of faith in God. And so this was a big roadblock for me as well. It kind of is in line with the conscience one, where I was afraid, well, what if I am going along with something that might make me a lot of money, but it might not be the right thing to do in the eyes of God, right? It might not be in alignment with the way God wants me to do things. I worried about this a lot. And I finally realized that I really don't need to be afraid of that as long as I am rejecting everything that doesn't resonate with my beliefs. And there are also other ways around this because you can find things to promote that are just neutral, or you can just make sure that it is something that lines up with your values and that you are sure will truly help the person on the other end. Now, one topic, and I want to bring it up because it's important when it comes to this, is AI software, because there are a lot of people who believe that AI is a really bad thing. And I want to point out that AI is software. And what really matters is the person behind the software who's actually running the show, right? The person who programs it and the person who is running it. And so the intentions of that person is what matters here. And I feel like AI is not going to go away unless the internet goes away. It's taking off at lightning speed. It would be like going backwards from the cell phone to a wall phone, or from email to fax machines, or from Google to encyclopedias, right? We're not going to go backwards. AI is here, I believe, to stay. And so because of that, it's important that as many good people as possible are the ones that are running the AI software. So the only thing that you really need to watch out for is you just want to make sure that it resonates with your beliefs. And if it doesn't, edit it, because what you're getting there is a rough draft. And so just edit out whatever you don't agree with and keep the things that you do agree with and add your own personality and your own opinion and your own values and beliefs in there. But you also have to watch out for images, because images are the same way. You can find images and videos that you might be like, oh, wow, I don't want to put that in my video. And it's going to happen. So get ready for it, but just watch for it. And if you see any images or videos that you don't agree with, just don't use them. That's really the only thing that you can do. So roadblock number 10, I felt like I didn't have the ability to compete with the experts. And the reason for that was because things were changing way too fast. And I talk about this in my playlist. It was really kind of crazy. It was just moving lightning fast lately, especially this AI software, because they're all competing with each other and they're all trying to outdo each other. And every time you pay for something and learn something, then somebody else comes along and says that they're better. And it's kind of crazy out there. And so here's the truth. You don't need to be an expert to compete with the experts. You just need to find a sub niche, first of all. Like, for example, you're not going to go up against a keyword like real estate or healthcare or something like that, right? What you would have to do is you would have to narrow that down into what's called a sub niche. And so when you do that, you are weeding out the competition. So, like, for example, you could say, instead of real estate, you could say that you are promoting foreclosures in the city of New Orleans. And so that way, there's still plenty of business in the city of New Orleans of people who might be interested in foreclosures, but you're weeding out all of the other competition all around the world, and you specialize in that one particular area. So that's the first thing. You have to narrow down a sub niche, but also you want to start by promoting products and services that were created by the experts. So you're not competing with them, but you are helping them by helping them to promote their products and services. And they are helping you by paying you a commission to do that. And that's called affiliate marketing. It's the best way to start online. And honestly, even the people who have their own products and services still recommend other people's products and services and get paid a commission to do so. It is probably the top way to earn online is by promoting other people's products and services. And so you don't have to compete with the people who created the products and services. You just promote them. If you find something out there that you really like, then promote it if you can. And of course, you have to check into it and make sure that they have an affiliate program, but there are a lot of companies that do. And so rather than competing with the experts, like let's just use ClickFunnels, for example. There's no way that any of us can compete with Russell Brunson, but we can promote Russell Brunson's software and get paid a commission to do that. So don't ever feel like you have to compete with the experts because you don't. You just start learning and improving your online skills and working with the experts instead of competing against them. Roadblock number 11, I'm getting too old. Now, this may not apply to you, but for me, I'm in my 60s and I worried about this a lot. Like I didn't want to take on a lot of clients because I thought, well, what if something happens to me? Or in your case, you may feel like you're too young. You're going to hear me promote a lot of things from Matt Parr, and I talk about him more in my playlist, but he was 14 years old when he started, and now he is extremely successful 10 years later. So don't ever think you're too young. But if you're like me and you're getting older, well, the truth is you don't need to do everything by yourself. What you need to do, if that's your problem, is plug into a community and send your people into that community so that if something does happen to you, if you get sick or end up in the hospital or whatever, there are people out there who can help take care of those people and look after those people for you. So if you plug into the right communities, then your people will be taken care of. If you make sure that you plug them into the right communities, which is what I do, and you hear me talk about that as well in my playlist. I have two main companies that are marketing companies that I encourage people to choose one of them and join because they have fantastic communities and a lot of support, and they really can help your people. So don't worry about that. And also, if you're my age, you want to supplement your retirement, things like that. So actually, it's a great time to be old in the online business because now we can create AI twins if we want to that never get old. Okay. But that's just a side note, but it's the truth. So what you want to do is you want to find a community of people who don't mind helping your people and also who don't mind helping you. You don't have to do this alone. There are some fantastic marketing communities out there that you can plug into and get all of the help and support that you need. So roadblock number 12, what if my boss finds out? This was another big one for me. Now, I worked in a car dealership for 32 years, and then I was a realtor for 10 more years. But when it came to social media, I was a realtor. And so I was on social media sharing houses. And on there, I had all of my brokers, all of my clients, all of my fellow agents. There were mortgage brokers, inspectors, appraisers, you name it. All of these people were on my Facebook. And so I couldn't just get on there and just start promoting some random topic without them stopping and thinking, what are you doing? So if you don't want your boss to find out, or if you need to protect your job for some reason, which is completely understandable until you can get this thing going, then I have good news for you, because you can go completely faceless, and you can even use a different voice if you want to. Now, I'm using my actual voice in this video, but I do want to clone my voice because I'm learning that I keep losing my voice because I'm doing all of these videos. And so that's one thing. But the point is, you don't have to use your own voice, and you don't have to show your face. And when we get to the end of this video, I'm going to send you to a playlist where I show you exactly how you can do that. So if you follow the method that I talk about in the playlist, no one will ever know it's you. You just need to learn how to use the right software and choose the right platform, and start researching the latest AI software that can help you accomplish your goals. You don't need to learn every single AI software out there. At first, that's what I was going to try to do. And then I realized this is ridiculous. I can't do this. And do I want to? No, because I'm tired. And the truth is, I just want to learn the software that's going to save me time and money and give me some freedom in my life so that I can spend time with my friends and family, which is what I really want to be doing, right? And so I'm sure you can relate to that. So the point is, you just learn the skills of the different ways that you can go faceless online, and nobody, including your boss, ever needs to know. Roadblock number 13, I'm struggling to do everything by myself. Now, we touched upon this in another slide, but this was a big deal for me. And especially before AI came along, I would spend weeks putting together PowerPoint presentations and blogs and things like that. And I could never make any money because I was so busy working all of the time, trying to do everything by myself. And I couldn't afford to hire anyone. So I was stuck in this rut, right? And so it's not a good place to be. The hardest part, though, is getting started. So just know that. Once you get it going, it does get easier. But the truth is, you don't need to do everything by yourself anymore. You don't even need to hire anyone nowadays, because what you need to learn is automation and whatever AI software that you need to accomplish your goals, and start learning and acquiring AI software skills and automation skills. And in fact, the method that I'm going to show you in the playlist when we get to the end of this video, I'm doing everything myself right now, but the person that I'm learning from also teaches us how we can hire other people to run the business for us and still make a profit. And so I do want to get to that point, but I'm not there right now. I'll be honest. I don't even really want to be there right now because I want to learn the business first. But the point that I'm trying to make is it's a lot easier than it used to be, mostly because of AI software and automation tools. Roadblock number 14, I'm too broke. So if you keep hearing from different people, that you need to buy these expensive courses and you need this monthly software, and you're thinking to yourself, I can't afford these monthly expenses. The truth is, you can invest one time into a blueprint, and then there are a lot of things that you can do for free. Now, in the playlist that I'm going to send you to, I show you and walk you through step by step a lot of the software that I'm using, but there are ways that you can accomplish these goals where you don't need to buy that software. It just takes longer. But if you need to start there and you want help with that, just join my community and send me a chat, and I will explain to you exactly the cheapest ways you can do these things without having to acquire a lot of monthly expenses. Okay. And so one of the programs that I promote, you pay for the program once, but then this person shows you how to set up everything for free and promote for free from that point forward without monthly expenses. So you do have to invest something in order to plug into these communities and get started, but there are cheaper ways to do it. And like I said, if you need help with that, please send me a message in the community and I will be glad to work with you on that. And remember, social media is free, right? It's completely free. And so if you're thinking, but I have social media anxiety, please understand you can go completely faceless and you don't have to put yourself out there or jeopardize your privacy anymore. There are better ways to do it now. And that's what I talk about in the playlist. Now, roadblock number 15, I don't fit in around here. So if that's you, if you get into a group and you think to yourself, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or these are all women and I'm a man, or these are all men and I'm a woman, or whatever you're thinking, or these people's beliefs don't resonate with my beliefs, or these people's faith is different than mine, their political beliefs are different. The truth is, if you don't feel like you fit in, there are always other groups out there that do think and believe as you do, because there is a group for just about everything. And if you don't believe me, get on School, that's SKOOL, and you will find tons of communities on there for just about every topic, every age group, every interest that you can possibly think of. But also in social media groups, there's a lot of different types of groups where you may feel more in sync with the age group, the gender, beliefs, or whatever. Because these days, there's a group for everyone. And if you're looking for a particular type of group, then send me a message in the community and I can probably share some ideas with you to help you find a group that fits. So those are the 15 roadblocks that I have dealt with so far. And now you know the truth about all of these roadblocks and what to do about them. So now I want to ask you, what is your biggest roadblock? Because I would love to know. So comment on the video or send me a chat inside of my community. You'll find it in the description. You'll also find the playlist in the description that you probably would want to watch if you are struggling with any of these roadblocks. Because the one thing I know for sure, you can't sell anything to nobody. You have to build an audience in order to succeed online. And that was really hard for me because of all of these roadblocks. And believe me, it took me a long time to figure these things out and to get past it and to find something that finally really works for me, my personality, my beliefs, and my comfort level, right? And so if you can relate to anything in this video, then go ahead and watch that playlist next and join my community and send me a chat if you're struggling with anything and need some help, okay? I'll be glad to get back with you as soon as possible. All right, so I will see you in the first video of that playlist where we are going to talk about how you can get paid to learn. So I'll see you there.